permitirte soñar, permitir crear que todo en tu mente, todo lo que tú te imagines lo puedas lograr.
Yes, you heard right. That was Spanish, and that was our guest today, telling you to allow yourself to dream, to allow yourself to create in your mind, and that everything you can imagine, you can achieve. Our guest today is from Venezuela, and we wanted to give him the opportunity to do part of the interview in Spanish, because change doesn't just occur in English. We want to represent global voices and break down language barriers to the extent possible. As he was a little nervous about speaking English, I wanted to meet him halfway and lean into the discomfort he might be feeling by conducting a portion of the interview in Spanish. So, don't be alarmed when the conversation shifts to Spanish. Translations will be provided at the end of the episode. The conversation will shift to Spanish at the 18-minute 30-second mark, and if you'd like to skip that portion, you can skip to the 25-minute mark. Moving the Needles presents Sowing Change, a podcast exploring change in all of its forms. Change can be small, subtle, and nuanced, and we're here to show you that you can be a change maker wherever you are. Today's guest on the show is Anibal Rocheta. Anibal Rocheta is a professional adventure guide, videographer, and photographer originally from Venezuela. Anibal led mountain expeditions in South America and Venezuelan tourism initiatives through TV programs, training, and advocacy in ecotourism and adventure. For over 15 years, Anibal was a mountain guide in the Sierra de San Luis, where his love and passion for nature began. He has a double degree in tourism services and tourism promotion and marketing, and he currently lives in Portland, Oregon, and is developing a 4K adventure project called Loco Por La Aventura. Anibal, welcome to Sowing Change.
Thank you.
So, you're originally from Venezuela, and you've been mountaineering and involved in adventure sports since you lived there. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got involved in mountaineering in the first place?
Yes, absolutely. So the first time, I'm getting involved, it's like when I was a child. I remember maybe when I was like 7 years old. I was staying with my family in the shopping center on the mall, and I just see a little outdoor store. They say like, oh, this is a thing. I check in, maybe the comics or. I never been, to the outdoorsy. It's like, how would you like going to the mountains? When you was a child, you have a little inspiration when you watch the movies or the series or whatever. And I think this is that my first experience when I was a child.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much. And then I understand that you left Venezuela because of the political situation there and came to the U.S., so can you tell me more about what led you to that decision and what that journey was like?
Yeah, unfortunately, I left behind my country because, the political situation is very tough. But five years ago, when I decided to move from USA, I just start from zero. We want to, leave my country. I start fresh and, looking the better quality for my life, for my family. And this is the main reason I just left my country, because the things, is very worse every day. You feel like a trap into the cage. You feel a little pressure, with the government over, the population in general. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel very comfortable with this feeling.
How long did it take you to make that decision? Because it seems like a very big decision to make.
Yeah, it's pretty hard because in my country, I have my own company, I have my house, everything. I finished my career there. Even I married there, everything. After marriage, I just decided, so I start, a new life with a. I don't like, how I feel in this moment, and just say, oh, okay, so we need to move I think we spent like a 3 or 4 months before decide to move to a different country.
I see. And who did you move with? Did you just move here with your wife, the two of you?
Basically, we put many options on the table. It's like, okay, we have a USA, we have many Canada, but when you're thinking to immigrate, you need to check it out many steps before, because the money. Do you need to emigrate, or the status? What is the process do you apply for moving to another country? And yeah, in the first instant, so my wife, she wanna improve her English. Yeah, this is one of the main reasons. It's like, okay, we wanna go to the USA, so she practiced more English, and she like become bilingual. Yeah, I love the mountains, and I love the landscape. I check it out on the map. He say, hey, so this place is beautiful, or looks like beautiful. It's like okay, let's do that. And just this is the reason we moved from this part of the country.
That is amazing. I can't imagine just uprooting your whole life. You said you had a career, you had a business, you were married, and all of a sudden leaving to a new country that is unknown. What was it like when you came to the US and you didn't know anyone and you didn't really speak English? What was it like starting building your life from zero?
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting question. So yeah, when I arrived there, well, right here, it's like I don't have any idea, but I mean, my English is like a 5%, just basically worse. It's like it's pretty tough, the language. So the first like a barrier is a English, of course, and then it's like get into the culture, because it's a different. Normally, my country were most friendly, and like we are loudy, or we are maybe going to party, and we invite somebody to your house even when you don't know these people. It's like, okay, come on, your home is my home. It's like we are this kind of person. um well, in Oregon, I feel like a family, because this part is very interesting in this, in terms like a kind person, because I have the opportunity to travel to different places in America, and it's a different. This is another history. Yeah, but I think that, yeah, this the English is pretty tough. It's pretty tough when you know somebody, or even when you know the city. It's like it's very challenging.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a different culture that you had to learn, a different language that you had to learn. How long ago did you come to the U.S.?
So actually, it's like a 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Okay, wow. And in the past 6 years, what was the most challenging part of your life what was the most challenging thing that you encountered?
I think getting into the American culture. I think this is the more challenging to me. Yeah, because this is a we talking before. It's like we are a different. We are many distraction in our life in South America. It's like we don't have many structure. Like okay, so we should hang out in maybe
Mm,
when I try to hanging out with some friends. It's like okay, so let's do that. Okay, I could do that maybe in December to 20 to 21. It's like
yeah,
the next year.
yeah.
It's pretty tough for me especially in this part, because it's like in my country. It's just okay. Let's do to the beach, or let's do to the river. Okay, just tomorrow. Yeah, let's do that, and just it's more spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
more spontaneous. I think this is the most challenging for me.
Mm,
Yeah, because I can like I don't know exactly how it works, but it's a different. It's
yeah.
total different.
I hear you on that. I think there's just a level of comfort in being able to plan things very spontaneously. And I hear you. I think a lot of times people are like, yeah, I have a opening like at 5 p.m., like 2 weeks from now. Let's
I
hang out
know.
then. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because when I make a little gathering or a little party in my house, I invite the Americans, so some Venezuelan friends or Mexican friends, whatever. It's just okay. My party is open. I don't put so the party is start like at 8 p.m. but they don't have the finish. It's just all
yep.
all night long. It's just
Yes.
it's that my American friends say, hey. No, when they finish, it's like, no.
It doesn't finish.
It doesn't finish. It's just, yeah, when you don't, you don't. It's just, that's it.
Yep.
And yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I suppose it's just the more harder part for the American, even when know the different culture like my culture, because, I don't understand this guy. It's pretty strange, or I don't know, because they have they have a structure, I don't want to try to change his mind. It's a different to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think they're just differences between cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now that you've been here 6 years, I imagine that you're settled down. Can you tell me a little bit about your current career and what you do right now?
Yeah. Well, I'm getting a bachelor on the tourist in my country. Um, yeah, I finished some course in the mountaineering and climbing there. And when I start in America, I just finished some course it's a mountaineer center in Portland, Oregon. I just finished that. Start to the project we used to do in Venezuela. It's like a Loco Por La Aventura. It's like a project to the Latino community or the Latinx. We try to involve the Latino community, the Spanish speaker.
Mm-hmm.
We try to do outdoor activities like camping, climbing, mountaineer, hiking, kayaking, everything. And yeah, we basically support them. I can speaking. I can offer the free course and everything for give the tools for the people don't have the opportunity or even don't have the money to rent whatever equipment. I will like support them. It's just like this is part of my mission in the Loco Por La Aventura.
That's great. And so it seems like you are able to support the Latinx community through Loco Por La Aventura. And my next question for you is, as this is a podcast about creating change, and you already alluded to this before, but how do you think that you are creating change with what you're doing now in your career?
So every day we create the opportunity to change our life from even a little part of the world. I think my mission, like I told you, is like generate more interest for the Latino community, and I think every step I made it is like generate a change for for the Latino community, because sometimes do you feel like like a trap into the corner? Do you feel like nothing changed? It's hard to moving forward, but I try like moving a little pieces, moving the needles, moving a little bit, and try to be a little difference for those people feel like that.
Yeah. Is there a big Latinx community in Portland?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what has been your favorite trip or project that you've done with Loco por la Aventura?
So actually, I have many favorite places because when I made a little research before moving here. It's like this is the reason I decided to move from Oregon, because I have many landscape, many national parks, many lakes. This is pretty interesting area. I mean, all the Pacific Northwest. I think the most beautiful I saw is Olympic National Park. It's too closer to the borderline between USA and Canada. It's a beautiful area. It's like a pristine area, so you can watch the mountain goats like a masamas. You can watch like marmots. It's beautiful area.
Wow, yeah, I'm just imagining the image as you're describing it, and I feel like all of us could use a little bit of traveling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is I noticed that Loco Por La Aventura's website is only in Spanish, and I assumed there might be a reason behind that. So, is there a reason why your website is only in Spanish?
Yeah. So when I arrive to America, I can find any information, in my language, in my local language. Well, I can use Google Translate in this moment, but you can find a specific information like okay, how to do that or how to make that, or this kind of information. The specific description for the roads or the basic things. And I decide like okay, so I want to do that because so I don't want to the people like me spend more time like research or looking okay how to do camping or how to get the permit to go to this place or whatever place or and this is the main reason I decided made my website in Spanish specifically for the Spanish speaker or the Latino community generate more interest because so the Latino community in general is a hard worker and they get into war and they don't enjoy a lot the outdoor activities. And I try to be that a little difference. I try to be okay, so you work Monday to Friday and try to go to the outdoor and enjoy yourself and take a break, and then it's like when I go to camping or I go to outdoor basically. When I come back, I start. It's like a refreshing. A refreshing is like a renew every day or every weekend after coming to my house again. It's like a wow. I start from zero. I reshare my battery. It's a marvelous.
Absolutely. I think it's so important to recognize that language in and of itself can be a barrier in accessing information and also opportunity. And I myself forget that sometimes, I take for granted that a lot of the information I need is accessible to me in English. And it sounds like with this project, you're able to empower your community through adventure and rejuvenating people's, need for adventure. Um, Along those lines, I also want to ask, what advice do you have for youth in the Latinx community who are still figuring out their life and what they want to do and their passions? What do you want to tell them? Y puede contestar en español, así que puede hablar con ellos más directamente.
Sí, bueno, yo pienso que una de las cosas es siempre como permitirte soñar, permitir crear que todo en tu mente, todo lo que tú te imagines lo puedas lograr. Yo pienso que esa es una de las cosas más importantes que por lo menos a mí me ha permitido hacer las cosas que he podido hacer y disfrutar de las actividades de autor, que han sido como en parte una vía de escape para ese día a día tan ajetreado que todo el mundo tiene y de alguna manera para mí ha sido una herramienta de crecimiento personal como profesional también en el área. Entonces pienso que nunca debemos dejar de soñar y siempre, cada meta que tengamos, tendremos que seguir trabajando en ella para poder en algún momento lograrla, pero nunca debemos dejar de perseguir nuestros sueños. Siempre tenemos que seguir hacia adelante.
Gracias por este mensaje tan poderoso y también pienso que soñar es muy importante y es algo que olvidamos hacer cuando crecemos. Y
También nosotros vemos valor no solo en las personas más jóvenes que escuchan a las personas mayores, sino también en las personas mayores que escuchan a las personas más jóvenes. Y considerando esto, ¿qué le gustaría saber de la generación más joven? ¿Qué preguntas tiene para ellos?
Bueno, algo que me causa un poco la atención es, bueno, mi generación fue como que justo la generación que era 80 retro, pero que cambió a la era digital. ¿Cómo empezaron las páginas web? Empezó Google, empezó Facebook, redes sociales, y de alguna manera he visto la evolución y no, o sea, no me ha afectado tanto, ¿no? Lo que me llamaría la atención o lo que le gustaría preguntar a las generaciones más jóvenes es cómo ellos se visualizan en un futuro, porque básicamente ellos han crecido en una generación digital y creo que no se han dado la oportunidad, o no todos, pero pienso que la gran parte, de poder salir a explorar, salir a escalar, salir a conocerse como ellos como personas y si no simplemente como estar enfrascados en social media. Pienso que es una de las preguntas que sí, me gustaría que una generación joven pudiera responder en el sentido de cómo ven ellos las actividades outdoor o si realmente o sea, les gustaría practicar las actividades outdoor o simplemente se van a quedar en una generación digital que, bueno, la vida continúa y todo, el humano debe evolucionar, pero pienso que también la tecnología en cierto aspecto también nos ha causado un daño porque hemos dejado cosas básicas atrás por ir a algo digital o algo que es muy accesible ¿entiendes? A solo un clic.
Wow, gracias por esos pensamientos profundos. No sé si tengo la respuesta para ti y también tengo curiosidad por escuchar la respuesta. Creo que es inevitable que la tecnología sea parte de nuestra vida y necesitamos aprender a vivir con la tecnología de manera, ¿cómo se dice? Balanced.
Sí, balanceado.
Balanceado, sí.
Sí, sí, sí.
También quiero preguntarle si hay algún libro o película que le haya inspirado, que le gustaría sugerir a la audiencia o alguna frase que le gustaría compartir.
Claro que sí. Sí, de hecho tengo una película que pienso que es como mi favorita en el tema de montaña. También es un libro. Está inspirada en una expedición del año 1985 de una escaladora. Bueno, son dos escaladores, Joe Simpson y Simon Yates. Ellos hicieron una escalada en una zona bastante remota en Perú y ellos durante todo el proceso, obviamente pasan muchas cosas interesantes, pero lo más importante es como el reto de poder, ¿sabes?, avanzar a pesar de las dificultades. Y pienso que esta película para mí ha sido una inspiración porque me ha permitido eso. Siempre, tanto en la montaña como en la vida diaria, tenemos como que subidas y bajadas, como una montaña rusa. Y eso es lo que es la vida, básicamente. Y de hecho tengo también una frase de mi inspiración y es algo como nadie logra lo que no se atreve. Entonces, simplemente seguir adelante con tus pocas herramientas o con tus muchas herramientas que tengas, pero simplemente seguir. Así sea un paso, medio paso, pero tú debes seguir avanzando para poder lograr la meta que tienes pensada.
Pues Anibal, gracias por su tiempo y por estar con nosotros hoy. ¿Hay algo más que le gustaría añadir que no le haya preguntado?
No, bueno, gracias a ti por la entrevista. Y nada, bueno, cualquier duda, si quieres saber un poco más del proyecto Loco por la Aventura, tenemos nuestra página web que es www.locoporlaaventura.com. Bueno, para la comunidad latina, igual cualquier americano o cualquier otra comunidad que quiera participar, que quiera hacer algún proyecto, estamos totalmente a la orden. Y nada, bueno, nuevamente gracias a ti por la entrevista.
No, perfecto, Anibal. Podemos compartir el enlace de tu sitio web con nuestros oyentes y gracias otra vez. Fue un placer tenerle en Sowing Change y yo aprendí mucho.
Gracias.
That was Anibal Rocheta on his journey from Venezuela to the US and on his career as a professional outdoor adventure guide. To quickly summarize the end of the interview, I asked Anibal to give some advice to the younger generation, and he said to allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to create in your mind, and that everything you can imagine, you can achieve. He also said to enjoy outdoor activities as it's a tool for personal and professional development, and to not ever stop dreaming and keep working towards your goals and never stop, because we always have to keep going forward. Then I asked Anibal what questions he might have for the younger generation or what he's curious about, and Anibal brought up technology. The digital revolution didn't affect his generation too much, but a question he has for those who grew up in the digital age is how they might explore and find time to go outside and find ways to get to know themselves and not just be bottled up in social media. He says that technology, in some aspects, has caused damage because we've left behind basic things to go to the digital world where things are more accessible. Then I asked Anibal if he had an inspirational book or movie to share, and he tells the story of two climbers who explore a mountain in Peru and weathers challenges together. The book, which later became a film, is called Touching the Void or Tocando el Vacío, and Anibal links the plot back to life, since, like climbing a mountain, life goes up and down like a roller coaster. And the quote that he shares is, Nadie logra no se lo atreve, which means no one succeeds if they don't dare. So it's important to keep going forward with whatever tools you have. You can learn more about Anibal and his work on his website, locoporlaaventura.com. To learn more about this episode, and for a more complete translation of the Spanish portion of the interview, head over to our website at movingtheneedles.org. If you liked today's episode, please do subscribe to Sowing Change on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And while you're there, please do give us a review. Our show today would not have been possible without the help of Linda Tran and Fair Pisuttisarun. Special thanks also to Judy Chen for designing our podcast cover. My name is Toffy Char, and this is Sowing Change.